of bottom lane. But the fact that League gets his hands onto the Kennen pick, I think is a better look, has a lot more teamfight flanking potential, and is pretty strong in lane.
Absolutely. I hope Leaky can level up in the 1v1, though. If he gets too set far behind, could be trouble try and get there. But a lot of dive once again here. They have the chance to get the flanks off with the Kennen. You better keep your eyes peeled for those post-14-minute teleports. I want to see Leaky getting involved. Hanabi, of course, can get involved as soon as he's level 6 because he does have that global ultimate, and that could also spell some trouble for Deep Cross. And Deep Cross need to win here. Otherwise, they will be clean swept out of the upper bracket and go on to face up against Frank Esports. The winner of this one, looking like it'll be PSG if things hold, will be facing off against CFO instead.
Level 1, nothing surprising. And Hanabi, their only 2 losses of the split for PSG has been when Hanabi also has played Gangplank. So, you know, if you're a DCG fan, it's looking up, right? Right?
The maths check out. I mean, that is objectively true. So fair dues. But we'll have to see if it's going to be enough, right? I mean, you've got 2 teams rocking the double TPs this time around, so there isn't going to be that imbalance. There isn't going to be that flip. I think this 2v2 is definitely an important one. But critically, I do like Nesty on this Ahri. I think it really suits what he likes to do and also enables him to get early plays, or at least mid-game plays out. That is going to be the blue buff start for PSG, spotted by the ward. So they will have full information. That is important as we get underway in Game 3.
Yeah, and Hanabi on this Gangplank is going to be pretty instrumental, though, when it comes to some of these mid-game teamfights, right? Because he is just going to be able to throw down the cannon barrage and really prevent Cascada from outputting a lot of damage because of how much terrain control that's going to offer. And so far in this early level, of course, with the extra sustain coming in from Corrupting Potion, you just walk up and spam your Q onto the Kennen over and over again. So that's why we do have the additional 2 potions for Leaky instead of the Doran's Blade, and now it looks like they're really leveraging that 2v2 down in the bot side. Kaiwing Unified,
yeah, they are.
Pretty scary.
Yeah, I know this is some nameplate diff, right? Like we do see this over and over again. They can get the push on. Kaiwing can kind of just body block as much as he'd like. I do want to see Woody getting a little more poke out of this. Maybe they can start to turn the tide. But pushed under tower, I think playing a little defensive is not a bad way to go. Keep your eyes on Juhan, though, as he does have the double buffs. A little bit ahead of Hana, making his way into the jungle. Okay, just going to pass away from him as Bay was looking as well. They might head towards the top side, though. This could be trouble for Leaky.
Early dive.
Yeah. Double dive. I mean, they have to know this is coming.
He's only level 2.
He's going to go for the lightning rush here, trying to get some dodge out. Teleport's actually coming up, and look at Hanabi taking a lot of tower shots. Oh, they still get the first blood off the back of it just in time to juggle the aggro.
Oh my god. It was just good enough for the side of PSG. They secure first blood onto Leaky. That's a devastating death there for the top laner of DCG, because now he's burned his flash. He's going to have to use teleport. He's down a large amount of EXP, and I mean, this player who has sort of objectively had some of the best numbers when it comes to top lane laning during the regular season has been really shut down heavily in this second series for DCG.
Oh yeah, Leaky's having a hard time. Can't even get into the lane right now. And oh no, is he going to face check? I think Juhan's out. There we go. Okay. Doesn't want to go for it as he takes the long walk back to lane on those little Yordle legs.
He's still sitting at 10 CS, Pyra. This
it feels
ugly.
Bad, man. Wait, let's not watch it. We got to look away from that top lane. I can't watch. Bot lane.
Their bot.
Yeah, Cascada and Woody have at least managed to get a bit of a push going on for themselves, so I'll give them credit there. They do have a slight CS advantage for the time being, but I think that is going to trade right back.
Yeah, but it's still favorable for PSG, right? Because they were able to get a bit of a cheater recall, and Unified has that cull now ticking. And for Cascada, he's not going to opt for the cull answer. of his own. Instead, of course, he has the gold compiled to just finish and complete his... man, I just blanked.
On
but
Cascada?
he's completed
Got that noon quiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that
I mean, to be fair, like for the time zone you're in, it's way past noon, Nightstar. So I think you can be forgiven.
It's not high noon.
Wrong game too.
But PSG, with no action pretty much and only one kill, have a 1,200 gold lead. So already looking great. And all of it really just about that top side, right? You've got a 25 CS lead.
Oh, no.
Leaky is not going to be able to play the game. And once level 6 happens for Volibear, could be even worse.
I honestly think like it's not. It doesn't seem to be in his repertoire, at least not what Deep Cross want to do. I would like to see Leaky just play like Ornn or something, man. Just like be a team fight tank. It's okay. You have an option. Hana's here, so is Juhan. There's a level advantage, though, on both sides of the matchup.
And that means DCG have to walk away. But they do keep their lives. That's the important part. Although Juhan, he is interested in the little snack of a Yordle.
All right, just gonna Siren's Blaze moving his way back out. Okay, nothing to see here. Keep moving along. So far, though, advantage PSG, big gold lead in this early game, and a lot of it off the back of just such a massive farm differential up in the top side as well. Worth noting as well that Bay was the one who ended up getting first blood, whereas last time his LeBlanc was actually not trading very effectively against Likes and ST, did not have as great of a score, wasn't getting that pop-off game. This could be the start of something, as he has traded evenly with Nesty and has the extra first blood.
Yep, still was able to get solid value out of the LeBlanc. Not quite the value you would expect from a LeBlanc pick, but again, this is a much different PSG team at the moment. A lot more slow and steady, and Bay not as much of a risk taker. This time around, given the early gold, maybe we do see him have more of those pop-off moments. That will be something to try and keep track of moving forward, you know, towards the 12 to 14 minute mark.
Yeah, see if Nesty's able to track him as well, though. That is an important thing. Does pick up his Merc treads to be able to zoom around the map a little more effectively here, as we are going to see the back away from Hana. Level 6 complete. Has not been the most prolific ganker in this season, and this Viego, do want to see a little bit more out of him than we did in game number 1. Has a lot of options to carry, so does the Ahri. Aphelios is always going to be good late game insurance, but they have quite a team fight. It's just a matter of getting those flanks, and I think Deep Cross have had a hard time finding the opportune ones against the immaculate map sense of PSG Talon.
Yeah, and as much as they want to try and dive with this DCG composition, the issue is if the Cannon Barrage does get tossed down, it could just very easily be just the one-button deterrent. And so we'll need to see how well they set up their flank positions when it comes to some of these mid-game team fights. But at the moment, PSG not really known to just be super kill hungry in the early game, and DCG are perfectly comfortable in playing around that.
Juhan missed the memo on that kill hungry thing, I think, as he was waiting and baiting in the brush. Woody runs face first into the bear. Nesty has arrived as well. This is actually a 3v3 if Juhan wanted to get involved, but they are able to safely walk away. Unified had shoved the minion wave in hard, got himself a couple of plates as well. While Cascada was away, this does also open up the opportunity for the Mountain Dragon. PSG have just done such a great job at controlling Drakes this series, and really all split long. I mean, it's one of the things they do very well, is keep the bottom side of the map locked up.
And, I mean, for the side of PSG, they haven't thrown... it's been more of a slow and steady. Yes, it's a 2k gold lead, but it's a very surprising 2k gold lead, right? Because you wouldn't expect that with how little action has occurred in this game. But that's just PSG's memo. They get these small advantages slow and steady, and all of a sudden you're just down 3k gold lead out of nowhere.
Oh, charm dodged by Bay. Kaiwing and Juhan waiting. That's a very tanky brush. Woody gets licked. You hear the sirens blazing, but they are going to walk away from it now. Nothing for us to take on the bottom. It looks like it's going to be Chris Scotta pushing in to try and equalize on those plates. So that is the saving grace, is that Chris Scotta has been able to do a pretty good job of firing right on back. You can clearly see the comfort level on this Aphelios a lot greater in these last 2 games. Will get a Shelly charge off, and that's actually a pretty good move for Deep Cross to try and get all of the plates down bottom. I think that was solo XP for Chris Scotta as well.
Yeah, he
solo gold,
will
I should say.
Split plate, of course, with Hana, because
there we go.
Hana did throw down the Rift Herald, of course.
Yeah, no, you're right. Good point.
But it's still 3 plate golds into him. So a lot of gold thrown into him early on is certainly going to feel good. He's going to be pretty accelerated. It's just a matter of how does he itemize, because in the previous game, he went for the second item, Bloodthirster. I think it's fine into a lot of range, but it really hampers your second item explosiveness. You'd like to have something like a Lord Dominic's or a Collector to really be able to assert yourself onto items.
Yeah, while it has stayed a low kill game, I don't know if it's going to remain that for very long here. You can see Leaky trying his hardest to catch back up in the game. Woody? Okay, no. Kaiwing is able to dodge away from that. Teleport comes in here for Nesty trying to defend the mid. And it's all going to be about who can secure first brick. We have seen it traded pretty back and forth on that bottom side, but both the bot laners sit there alone without their supports. Woody, this time he's a lot faster than he is on the Nautilus, able to walk away from the likes of that Sky Splitter. But there are a lot of PSG members moving freely about this river, and hey, you got to keep those wards cleared. Bay looking for an opening to try and grab himself a kill. Does miss on the chains, though, and again, this is one of those things we're talking about Bay on these other champions. He doesn't quite look as good and as comfortable as he does on the likes of the Rise.
Yeah, and a lot of fighting, at least vision-wise, happening in this bot river time and time again.
The Ward Wars, Night Star!
Yeah, it's just Ward Wars over, well, I mean, Dragon's not up yet, so we're kind of fighting a lot around just being able to protect our bottom lane.
Okay, into the charm.
Might have made a mistake.
Okay, Hana. Oh, I bet he wishes he was on Nocturne this time. He would have been able to have a great chase down on the Paranoia. Doesn't quite get an opening, but he at least, well, no, he doesn't even get an auto attack on the tower. He just came in to be scary.
Shoos him away, but that is going to be an important chunk, right? Because now Bay doesn't have that health for Dragon. That's
Scotta. Okay, forget that fight. We've got ourselves a 2v3. Meanwhile, in the mid, no, Hana's actually going to be the one backing away. Here's Unified, feeling confident enough to send that Zappa flying. Okay, nobody goes down here.
There's no Dragon. Pyre, remember, there's nothing to fight over except for that Scuttle Crab, and Juhan able to secure that one. Now it will be DCG just getting that first tower, and that's going to feel good for their carries, but still, PSG holding the gold advantage.
That they do. PSG, it's at 1,000. It hasn't changed much in the last 7 minutes, though, crucially, and we are going to see as the turret plate's about to drop off, Leaky has been able to stabilize a little bit more. Very speedy boy as he goes for those boots. I want to say early, but they're certainly not. Unfortunately, he is contending up against the likes of the Trinity Force completed by Hanabi. So I think the last second plates are going to be had here, at least one of them. Hanabi is able to just free hit that, and Leaky can't really contest. So as things reset a little bit, it is crucial that Deep Cross are able to get first brick down bot. Chris Scotta is off to a great start to even out Gale Force up against the likes of the Kraken Slayer of Unified.
Yeah, and I love the Kraken Slayer purchase because you do have that Tom Kench who's going to be essentially your insurance policy, an extra summoner spell, so to speak. And now this is a relevant ward fight because now we're positioning for the next objective. And it looks like collapses onto Tom Kench.
High Wing. Okay, already a lot of great health though. Shoot through and into the belly. He goes, Unified taken down to half HP. That's the bailout. That's the insurance policy. But I think His premium's about to go up as Nesty takes another bite out of Bay's health bar, and this is PSG actually on the back foot here. Deep Cross going to take the opening to get some free hits on the towers. Got to be careful not to split. Here goes Bay, no charm.
Oh,
that's going to be the chains connecting on to Chris Gata into the rocket. Got to be careful, dude. He's walking away, but PSG get the dragon all the same.
Wow, that was really, really surprising. The fact that PSG, they take a bit of a poor trade there, right? Unified, he gets chunked out very, very heavily at the start of the fight. And the Tahm Kench Devour just doesn't come in fast enough to save more HP onto their AD carry. As a result, they're forced off of that team fight, but it's still PSG the ones to secure the dragon. They're onto 2 dragons. They are 2 away from Dragon Soul, which, you know, unfortunately is going to be Cloud Soul, but the extra movement speed is actually really important against the likes of something like a Kennen, like a Rakan, that have a lot of run at you power. Yeah.
No, this is pretty huge if they can secure it. I'm surprised Deep Cross didn't opt to take the dragon. Instead, they go for mid, but they only have 2 on it. They get split. They have to scatter. Chris Gata, I mean, he holds his summoners, but he takes a big chunk of damage. It seems like Deep Cross didn't really know what they wanted to do after that fight.
Yeah, they didn't seem to have a clear plan. Yes, they are able to get a chunk of damage onto mid lane tower, but they weren't able to delete it. So as it stands, like, I would still favor the dragon trade for the side of PSG, because while DCG were able to get Rift Herald, it's only the 2nd Rift Herald, which means you don't have that extra bonus gold coming in from tower plates. So the scaling factor certainly in favor of PSG when it comes to that particular trade. But DCG at least able to find an answer.
Yeah, they did turn a fight, even if they didn't get the kills. I think it's important to note that they definitely have looked better and better in some of these games. They are going to pop Rift Herald in the mid, but Unified and Kaiwing are here. This is not a clean push down. And it's going to prompt Juhan to come back to the defense, calling for backup, as it were. This is going to be the kill of the tower, but do they have the fight? Unified does get rooted. Oh, into the belly once again. And they tried to get that kill, at least a second Shelly charge. Now it's got to be the time to go, because Bay comes in around the side, big root down, into the gangplank ultimate, into the rocket, into the front line goes everyone from PSG, and the Stormbringer Goomba Stomp allows Hanabi to open up. Juhan taking down his opposite number. The gangplank's going gangbusters. And now Deep Cross are headed for the hills. Hanabi on the front, Leaky can do nothing. PSG... what a counter collapse, Nightstar.
Yeah, and such an intelligent play coming in from Bay, coming in on the side. He has the Everfrost. This is a much different build coming in this second game of LeBlanc for him. He understands he doesn't need to be the one to burst people out. He can play a little bit more defensively and look to just lock down targets. And this flank on the side is beautiful. Finds a 2-man slow and a 2-man lockdown, and that just sets everything else up. Coming in with the cannon barrage, the extra slow, so frustrating for the side of DCG to deal with. And again, they have a lot of run at you champions, so when you apply these slows, it is incredibly detrimental. Bay, though, is dead.
Yeah, there's not. I don't think he's getting out of that one. There was a lot of damage on the other side. So he gives a little bit back, but Bay overall has looked a lot better on this LeBlanc. I like his build as well. I agree with you. I think after that last one, Nightstar, download complete. He can play LeBlanc.
Looks pretty comfortable. It's still, you know, not Maples LeBlanc that's going to delete people off the map nonstop, but this is a very, very good look for the side of PSG. They're able to bring out, you know, some of these different champions in that mid lane in particular. Then these drafts become that much harder for PSG's opponents to try and deal with. He looks like he will go for the Banshee's Veil second. So this is, again, a build similar to what we saw in game number 1, a very defensive flair to it. But when I feel like, again, Bay is in a spot where he doesn't need to be the main carry, and he just wants to try and facilitate for both Unified and Hanabi, who are online at the moment.
Yeah, Hanabi's popping off, and he's going to be going into the side lanes. Hole breaker on the gangplank as well. We are seeing that once again.
Oh, man.
Deep Cross have found they can get the fights, though, but they've got to be careful because Bay's coming around the side for the claps. Hana already a little bit low on this Viego Woody. Okay. Can Nesty find the opener? He absolutely cannot, but the charm does connect. Bay still chases him down all the same on the electrocute. Dragon is up, but this is a little battered and bruised on both sides. 20 minutes into the game, they will get the blue trinket pop to see where the rest of PSG are. Dragon started on Nesty over the wall, into the charm, into the orb. Bay is out. But Juhan is still threatening with the smite. This would be sole point. Yeah, now I think they do now.
That's why they're playing a little bit defensive here. They know that he's on the side now. But where's the engage?
That's a lot of damage. Rocket. Oh, no, they got to get out of there. The gangplank is massive. Deep Cross get bursted out of the fight, and they don't lose anyone, but they do lose the dragon. PSG now 3 for 3.
God, that was just an absolute clinic of a fight coming in from PSG. And DCG running into issues when they don't have their primary engage player of Nesty being able to primary engage. Once he burns that ultimate, it's just a huge loss for DCG because now they don't have a clear engager for the squad. It's not really a main engaged champion for the side of DCG, but rather a main engaged player. That's always been Nesty. Leaky on the side flank, unable to actually get into the fight and utilize the cannon so far in this game. And if the cannon's not winning the 1v1 against a gangplank, and he can't get into the backline with his ultimate, man, it's hard to play Kennen.
Yeah, Leaky has kind of gone 3 games now with not really being able to execute on what he's trying to do with this champion. He hasn't been able to get anywhere. Even in that mid lane fight, we saw that he just got completely stiff-armed, goes into the slicing maelstrom, but he doesn't even connect with anyone as Juhan just goes in for the Goomba Stomp. So this time around, he gets completely spotted off the side, doesn't get in there, and then between the cannon barrage and the super mega death rocket, Cross just get chunked out and are forced to cede the ground. So now they set up on the Baron, but a little bit slowly here. They would need the teleport flank for Leaky. It has to work just once if they can get it done. Trying to bait in a death rush, but PSG are smarter than that.
Pretty safe here, and they just walk up as a 4-man unit. Highwing walking up.
Nesty, teleport is on. They do manage to find a target, but unfortunately, Unified gets swallowed up. Nesty, he's going to be gone right after this. Leaky does come into the back, but is it too little? Is it too late? Criscata gets a kill, but PSG are turning it around all the same. 2 for a Unified to end that one out, and on the back half, Woody gets spotted.
Criscata
get chunked. They're going in for round 2. Criscata on the front, gets the outplay, but he's on the traps, and Hanabi just chews him up, spits him out for the shutdown. And that is going to be the near ace as Woody is playing keep away from Kaiwing. I don't think they get Baron off this one, Nightstar, but they are looking for the delayed ace.
Yeah, we'll see if Woody's able to get out. It looks like he could be in the clear. He's going to go for the execute, but Juhan is running over. He will get the execute, but it's still just another clean fight for the side of PSG. This Tahm Kench has been miserable for DCG to deal with. They try and dive onto the Jinx, but Tahm Kench exists even when he's playing so far forward, still finds the Devour onto his Jinx, and then Leaky gets a fantastic angle, but he can't outplay Exhaust. Exhaust gets dumped onto him. Like, if there was no Exhaust, he probably just wins that fight himself, and then Criscata is able to then mop up. But now Criscata has to flash forward to trade 1, and that's all he's able to get.
And shutdown gold to the GP2. You know, I'm looking at this and I keep asking myself, Nightstar, what if Hana picked Jarvan? He'd be more useful. Because he keeps chasing down kills and he's just not getting anything. Like, I don't think this was necessary. Now they're going to be caught in the flank. They just sandwiching them in. Hanabi gets one, Kriskata gone, Woody down, Bay gets two, Hana can't do a damn thing, and Nesty just waves goodbye to the rest of his team. That is going to be the big Baron.
Oh, man. Pyra, we could be seeing 3 very similar game timers.
26 minutes coming up, Nightstar. It's a very similar Baron take. It's a very similar situation.
Oh my lord. That's going to be Baron secure. That should be IE now completed for Unified. He's very, very close to that item breakpoint. And PSG have just absolutely dominated this series. Bay coming in for the long con. Just a fantastic play execution coming in from PSG. They force DCG's bot lane into that choke point to allow then this Everfrost LeBlanc to get maximum value. And Hanabi just goes on a one-man mission and deletes Woody out of nowhere.
Yeah, Woody did not have much of a chance. Hanabi hopping off again as that collector as well now. That's going to be the Cloud Soul very freely picked up. Nothing Deep Cross can do to try and contest that. And I think short of a miracle fight, we are looking at that sweep. PSG closing the door on this game. Well, Nightstar, they got about 30 seconds to match their game timer. Let's see if they can do it.
Well, this has to be really the hold coming in from DCG. Even if they're able to withstand this Baron push, if they don't find kills, that's going to be problematic because they're losing their fight window.
And this is just free for PSG right now. They're going to actually have Unified on the front line already, taking Nesty down to half his hit points on to the inhibitor. They're already a little bit behind their last game timer, but it's starting to look like the results are going to be the same. Bay's bringing up the line in the mid, and they just don't present a target. The rocket intercepted, but it doesn't seem to matter. 1 inhibitor, 2 inhibitor, maybe they'll turn around and go for 3 inhibitor. Woody is trying to flank. I don't know if that's going to work out so well for him. Just look at the level differential as they will back out. And as a 4-man unit, they're looking there to teleport in. That is going to be the charm, but the bear comes in for the crash and smash right into the cannon barrage.
That's all their damage gone.
Kriskata. Woody was the flanker, but the rest of the team needed to be there. He will get the knockup, but he knows that's a one-way trip. And it's going to be just a little bit longer on this one. But this game is over. This series is over. And as the Nexus is laid bare, Nightstar PSG pushing on the fountain, having some fun just to pad those stats out. Goodbye, Hana. Nesty going to not step up to this plate.
Oh, they want it.
They really do. Kai Wing's not going to get it at the end, but they will take the clean sweep of the series and sweep Deep Cross to the lower bracket.
Pyra, this playoffs has been one of the most exciting playoffs that I've been hoping for coming into the playoffs. Looking at all these teams form, just trying to think, all right, how are they doing? Oh, we even get a little bit of memeing coming in from Hanabi. I don't know what that sign means. Hopefully someone else will help us out in that regard. But we've had 5 series in a row of 3-0. This could just be...
That's a lot, man.
The most one-sided playoffs we've had.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Like, because we've seen PSG dominate. It looks like they got a lot of signage to play on this one. We'll have to see what it spells at the end of the day. But yeah, there have been so many sweeps, and I honestly, I just can't wait for the CFO matchup.
Oh man, everyone is just